I think it was just yesterday or the day before when the statistics office in Germany announced that 100 of Germany's largest publicly listed companies make 2/3 or more of their business outside of Germany. So we're seeing a lot more German or European-based businesses move to the US. Much of it has to do, of course, with currency fluctuation, but also with cheaper labor. And if you want to be in this market, if you want to sell to this market here in the US, you need to have local production. If a German company makes a strategic decision, we're going to do this, they're not going to bail. Because that's a decision that's been in maybe for months, even years. In that case, with Wacker for years. Germans don't talk about their religion. They may say, I'm Catholic, I'm Lutheran, I'm whatever, but they don't wear it on their sleeve. They don't say, this is what I do on Sundays and Wednesdays. In Germany, you don't tithe church. You pay church tax. Outrageous, isn't it? Pay tax for churches. In Bavaria, you don't mess with altar boys. They play soccer, and they kick butt, they drink, and they fight. So altar boys are dangerous. So my dad was an altar boy, and I said, hey, Dad, I'm not going to pay that tax anymore for that. I don't appreciate that decision. And he said, well, son, you better know what you're doing. Get on the track. We have big cities in Germany, but overall, they're not as big as they are here in the US or in China for that matter. Our biggest city is Berlin, with almost 3.5 million people. Number 2 is Hamburg up there, with almost 2. Munich, the city that I moved from when I moved here, is number 3 with 1.3, maybe 1.4 right now, next to each other. Everybody needs to give up a little bit of their freedom in order to make it work. So a lot more regulation than here in the US. And you'll find that Germans who move here will at first be overwhelmed with the individual liberties that they have, and they will ask questions like, oh, can I really do that? Is that allowed? And you'd say, that's an override, sure. Why would you even ask that? Because they're not used to certain liberties. I'm not talking about, can I commit a crime much easier or stuff like that. No, it's individual stuff like passing a car on the right-hand side. You can't do that in Germany. It's even, the comparison's even stronger down here in Burghausen. Gary's been to Burghausen, small town. I mean, even smaller than my hometown, that small. 18,000 people, half the size of Cleveland. 10,000 people work for Wacker. So you have communities that are dependent on one big employer. Everything revolves around that employer. Matter of fact, Germans are very well aware of their dark history, but I think many of us are frustrated that our history is limited to that. After all, it's been only, and it's amazing to say that, it was 12 years that Hitler was in power. And in those 12 years, look at how much havoc he wreaked. But our history goes back to the old Romans, and we are proud of that history as well. And I think we're especially proud of our latest history that began in '45. So it is hard for Germans to acknowledge that they made those mistakes, and our generation cannot, well, we cannot be held responsible for it, but we are the messengers of the better Germany. This is what Wolfsburg looks like. This is the old chimneys. This is the old factory that's, I think it was built in the 50s or late 40s even. That's where they produced the Beetle, the first Beetle designed by a gentleman with the last name of Porsche. And you wonder why the Porsche 911 or 911? The Porsche 911 and the old Beetle, they share a shape, right? So Mr. Ferdinand Porsche designed that vehicle. That's where it originated, and now it's this huge conglomerate. It's number 3 in the world car manufacturer. By 2018, they want to be the number 1, and from what it looks like now, they'll get to their goal before that.
Ordnung? Is it in order? Did you get me what I was trying to bring across? Okay. The level of clarity is vital. Klarheit. Clarity. If you're not clear, if asked and the German cannot say, alles klar, everything's clear, I've understood you, then there is still a question mark, then there's still the unknown or a possible risk. An American may not even see there could be the risk. For a German, if there is still one question mark, well, there's a possible risk. What are they writing? Okay? Indirectness, and that's another answer to your question. To be indirect or non-committal in a conversation will raise question marks. So even if you're friendly and polite and southern, do say that one sentence that carries the essential message that they can take away from you. Say, okay, this is what she's saying. This is the answer, or this is the instruction or the question. For Germans, soccer is their nationality. In '54, Soccer World Cup in Switzerland, Germany just barely recovered from World War II, wins the World Cup against Hungary, which was the highly favored team. So the underdog Germany beats Hungary in the final. The German people think, wow, we have something to be proud of again. And in 2006 it came full circle when Germany hosted the World Cup. See all those flags? Only during soccer time, or during the World Cup season. That's when young people, you saw flags everywhere in Germany. Something that you never see. But then they thought, hey, this is our tournament, this is our time, we can show the world that we're a peaceful nation, and that we play soccer, and we beat you. They ended up being the third in the tournament, but still, they celebrated the third spot just like they won the tournament. And next time, for those of you who want to join us in the next sessions, we're talking about the conflict or the difference between the peaches and the coconut. I'm sure after what we've gone through today, you kind of imagine what I'm relating to. One being the Americans,